Good morning, children. Congratulations to all of you. You all are promoted to class 8th now. I know that you had studied social and political life textbook in class 6th and 7th. This year, you are going to study the third and final textbook on social and political life. The first lesson in your textbook is the Indian Constitution, and let us discuss that lesson now. You see the preamble of Indian Constitution now. Children, how many of you have played football? As the name of the game suggests, it's a game that involves the player's feet. And according to the rules of football, if the ball touches the arm of any player, then this is considered as foul. Like this, there are rules for other games also. So what do we have to understand from this? Rules are necessary wherever people live together. So like this, in a society also, there are certain constitutive rules that make it what it is, and that makes it different from other kinds of societies. In large societies in which different communities of people live together, these rules are formulated through consensus, and in modern countries, this consensus is usually available in written form. A written document in which we find these rules is called Constitution. What do you see in this picture now? You see Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru addressing the Constituent Assembly. In 1934, the Indian National Congress made the demand for Constituent Assembly. During the Second World War, this assertion from an independent Constituent Assembly formed only of Indians gained momentum, and this was convened in December 1946. And this photo shows some members of the Constituent Assembly now. Children, hope that all of you know Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. You can see him on the left side, you can see him on the right side also, but who are there along with him, that I am going to tell you later. Now, please listen. On 29th August 1947, the Constituent Assembly of India entrusted the task of drafting Constitution for Independent India to 7 members. And these 7 members drafted a constitution and circulated it among the members of the Constituent Assembly on 21st February 1948. Based on it, discussions were held, amendments were made. So, who are the members of this Constitution Drafting Committee? You see those members on the right side now. I will just read out the names of the members of Constitution Drafting Committee. Alladi Krishnaswamy Iyengar, D.P. Ketan, N. Madhava Rao, K.M. Munshi, N. Gopalaswamy Iyengar, P.T. Krishnamajari, and finally Sayyid Muhammad Saadullah. In addition to these, there was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar also as the chairman of the drafting committee of Indian Constitution. May I make a small correction? The total number of members of the Constitution Drafting Committee was 8. Today, most of the countries in the world have constitution. The constitution serves several purposes. We will discuss them in detail later. A country is usually made up of different communities of people who share certain beliefs but may not necessarily agree on all issues. A constitution helps us serve as a set of rules and principles that all persons in a country can agree upon as the basis of the way in which they want the country to be governed. In democratic countries, constitution often lays down rules that guard against the misuse of authority by our political leaders. Let us try to learn the purposes which constitution serves. First, it lays out certain ideals that form the basis of the kind of country in which the citizens of that country aspire to live. This includes not only the type of government like monarchy, dictatorship, etc., but also an agreement on certain ideals that all believe the country should uphold. That is why in Nepal the people had to draft a constitution in 2006 when they overthrew monarchy there. We will learn about what happened in Nepal in detail later. But now let us try to understand the second purpose that constitution serves. It defines the nature of a country's political system. In democratic societies, constitution often lays down rules that guard against the misuse of authority by our political leaders. Constitution plays an important role in democracy. It ensures that a dominant group does not use its power against the other or less powerful people or groups. Such unhealthy situations can occur in democratic societies also, where a majority can continuously enforce decisions that exclude minorities and go against their interests. The third purpose that constitution serves is it saves us from ourselves. Sometimes it may sound a little strange, and you may ask, how can it save us from ourselves? Constitution helps to protect us against certain decisions that we might take that could have an adverse effect on larger principles that the country believes in. For example, it is possible that many people who live in a democracy might come to strongly feel that party politics has become so acrimonious that we need a strong dictator to set this right. Set by this emotion, they may not realize that in the long run, dictatorial rule goes against all their interests. A good constitution does not allow these things to change its basic structure. Constitution includes an agreement on certain ideals that the people of the country believe the country should uphold. Let us try to understand this with the help of an example. There were two contrasting situations in the recent history of Nepal, a country that borders India on the north. Nepal was a monarchy. The previous constitution of Nepal, which had been adopted in 1990, reflected the fact that the final authority rested with the king. People's movement was there in Nepal, it fought for several decades to establish democracy, and in 2006 they finally succeeded in putting an end to the powers of the king. Now the people have to write a new constitution to establish Nepal as a democracy. The reason behind this is they don't want to continue with the previous constitution because it does not reflect the ideals of the country that they want Nepal to be. Hope that you understood. Let us revise. Please find answers to these questions.